So I'm just going to start off with a disclaimer on this video that I know that some of you are going to say, but Clayton, you're not black. Clayton, you can't say anything about this. This isn't, you don't understand. You know what I have to say about that? I'm about to say some shit. Hey folks, it's the Colonel here with Hell Broke Loose. Coming to you not live. Because I'm pre-recording this as I do nowadays more than I used to. Because I like to mix in cool shit with it. Anyway, just here to check up. I know yesterday I didn't post. Some of you are like, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? But I know one of you does, or maybe two. So here I am, in all of my pristine glory. Look at that complexion. Look at that perfect skin. Not a flaw or a blemish. Hope I can put a filter on that. So yesterday had a job, and some of us fucking work for a living. I'm not becoming a millionaire by sitting on my fucking ass and bitching about the damn government. But anyway, I had a job yesterday. I was out there doing that job, and just didn't get around to posting on the Hell Broke Loose yesterday. I had some stuff I could have put up, but just didn't get around to it. And then when I got home, I was like, let me get drunk. I'm just kidding. I didn't get drunk. I drank. It doesn't matter. It's none of your fucking business. So, woke up today. The Breonna Taylor thing came out today. So, I'm sure that some people are losing their shit about it. I am not one of them. Although I did get on and see what's going on and see if I can pull it up here. So there's a little thing here called the interweb that I have attached my devices to. So I'm going to look it up and read about it. This is off of wave3.com. Breonna Taylor case. Brett Hankison indicted on 3 counts of wanton endangerment. Officers Mattingly and Cosgrove cleared. Oh shit! People are about to lose their fucking minds. A few people. Most of us are just going about our daily business as always. Former LMPD detective Barrett Hankinson was indicted on 3 counts of first-degree wanton endangerment in connection to the deadly raid on Breonna Taylor's apartment. 194 days after Taylor was killed and 126 days after Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron's office took over the case, a grand jury announced its findings on Wednesday. Now, first of all, they were saying that they were going to announce this on Sunday. And so what started happening? These fucking rich, white, liberal elitists, started planning all this crap, we're going to probably get ready to bust in the fucking Nazis to come around and, tear up fucking Louisville. And so the mayor, asked for federal assistance, or not the federal assistance, the National Guard. And so they was able to declare a state of emergency, and the National Guard is supposed to be coming to town Sunday. And probably it was just going to be a bunch of, the stupidest, dumbest, frickin' screaming and screeching that you could possibly imagine. And people are probably going to get hurt or killed. And things are probably going to be destroyed. And so they just kind of dropped this fucking bomb today here. This is Wednesday, 5 days early. Maybe hoping that people, during the week and having to work and shit, maybe just it could be a little calmer than if it happens on the weekend. I don't know why they did that. It seems kind of smart, but I don't fucking know. I just don't know. Hankinson was charged for shooting 10 rounds from outside of Taylor's apartment. Some of those shots ended up in adjacent units, which is why he was indicted. So, did you hear what I just heard? So, they're not even charging him for killing Breonna Taylor. These charges, these 3 wanton endangerment charges, were about wanton endangerment to the neighbors because apparently he just started fucking spraying bullets all over the goddamn place, and it went through the fucking neighbor's apartment. It was all like holes in the walls into the neighbor's apartment. And so, like, this is a charge for endangering their lives. This has literally nothing to do with Breonna Taylor. Sort of like the warrant originally had nothing to do with Breonna Taylor. You hear what I'm saying there? Taylor, 26, was shot 6 times by LMPD officers and left bleeding to death on the floor of her hallway on March 13th. And officers were serving a warrant related to a narcotics investigation just after midnight on March 13th of last year. Just wanton endangerment, a disappointed Trina Curry, Taylor's aunt, asked Wave 3 News, Felicia Ashley, "I don't even know what to say. I'm sick and tired of being treated like we're not equal." Who the fuck is treating you like you're not equal? The fucking racists? Added Louisville's Urban League President Sadika Reynolds, "I am suffering. I'm in pain. My heart is broken." Is it? Is it really? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Better question. What the fuck do I care if your fucking heart's broken? I'm not trying to be like controversial. Actually, yeah, I am. Because I'm so sick and tired of hearing how everyone feels about like this one instance when shit is happening all around the world's like fucking imploding on itself. Like black people are being like murdered in mass numbers like all over their fucking neighborhoods. And they're sad and heartbroken that this cop is going to get up to 5 years per count. And he's got 3 fucking counts. And no, it doesn't have anything to do with Breonna Taylor, really. But like, what the fuck do you expect? Like, what more can they do that they haven't already done? There's actually an article on here, like a link to the article that says what has changed since Breonna Taylor was killed. Let's look at that real quick. 6 months later, what has changed since the Breonna Taylor shooting? Let's see. LMPD Chief Steve Conrad was fired on June 1st. His interim replacement, Bob Schroeder, stepped down last week. Yvette Gentry, a former LMP, this is a female black LMPD command staff, came out of retirement to lead the force until a permanent chief is named. She said last week that she does not want the permanent job, which Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher said he hopes to have filled by the year's end. Louisville's Metro Council signed into law a ban on no-knock warrants. Since warrants allow officers to enter a home without knocking, LMPD had secured a no-knock warrant for the Taylor raid, but the officers essentially voided it when they knocked. When they knocked on Breonna Taylor's door the night of the raid. Multiple witnesses said, and state lawmakers will consider a similar measure when the next legislative session convenes in January. Okay, that's a lot. That's some good shit that's going on. A lot of changes happening. Systemic changes. All LMPD officers will be provided with body cameras and will be required to activate them while conducting police business with very limited exceptions. Officers are now required to intervene if they see their colleagues using excessive force during an arrest. In July, Fisher hired a Chicago-based consulting firm to perform a top-to-bottom review of LMPD to find areas in most need of improvement. And they won a lawsuit too, so they've been financially provided for. I get it. It's a tragedy. It should have never happened. It was wrong. It had nothing to do with the color of her skin whatsoever. There is zero evidence saying that any of this had to do with the fact that she was black. Literally nothing. They weren't even there for her. They probably didn't even know she was black. They didn't even know her name, most likely. Maybe they did because they had to get the warrant on the apartment. They knew her name. Who knows what they knew? There is no evidence to state that this had anything to do with skin color. If I had done exactly the same thing that they did in that house that night, I would have been shot too. Anybody would get shot for shooting at the fucking police at your door. It's just what happens. It is a tragedy, but like, they're not going to like be, oh, you're white, after I'm putting fucking rounds in their ass. They're just not. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I know, I'm ridiculous too. The whole thing is ridiculous. I'm just entertaining on my fucking YouTube channel. But I do mean what I'm saying. I'm not making the shit up. I do feel this way about it. It is the most ass backwards display of stupidity and misdirected rage and anger that makes literally no sense from the ground up. I mean, you could at least argue with George Floyd that it could have been a racially motivated incident. Like, because that was an extreme fucking situation that, like, everyone was like, what the fuck? No, there was literally nobody that thought that that was okay, that what happened to him was okay. Like, there were zero. It was so fucked up. It was bad. So you could say that, like, the only reason somebody would do something that fucking cruel and unnatural to another human being might be because they don't like fucking black people and he was black. Maybe. There's no evidence to say that I'm aware of. But at least it's a situation where it was a hate crime. Whether it was he just hated fucking people, or he hated black people, or he just hated his fucking job or his fucking life or something. I don't know. But it was just an unnatural, savage, cruel act. The Breonna Taylor case was just a tragedy because of a fucked up system with these no-knock warrants that should never have been allowed to begin with. Like, that is not how it's supposed to work. You don't just come into somebody's fucking house. That's stupid. This is America. We all have guns. Going into somebody's house after midnight. Like, what you don't have shit, you can't do that shit during the day? You can't do it like a normal fucking person during normal work hours? But you want to see them, like, naked and fucking in their bedroom or something? Like, what do you expect to go into somebody's house in the middle of the night and find anyway? I don't know. But breaking down a door and shooting people or being shot at, and even if you did knock, they knocked. They didn't just like break down the door and just start shooting at everybody in the house. They knocked. A shot was fired through the fucking door and hit a man in the freaking artery, a police officer, and then they fucking like went apeshit crazy and just like fucking sprayed the whole fucking apartment complex like a bunch of idiots. And that, like, nobody's trying to justify that. The city has literally like undone the entire precedent and rules relating to no-knock warrants, police body cams. Police now have to intervene if there's excessive force being used, or else they're basically a party to the crime. I mean, that's as close to justice as you can get. It wasn't a hate crime. It was a fucking shootout crime. It was people shooting at each other because of a miscommunication, because of a stupid fucking legal policy. That's un-American at its very heart and soul. It's not systemic racism. It's un-Americanism. Now, am I saying that systemic racism hasn't or doesn't exist? Honestly, I mean, I know it did exist. Does it exist now? Classism does. Racism? Systemic racism? Maybe on some state level in some state somewhere, maybe. I do not know of it myself. It definitely does not exist in the federal government. Every attempt at it has been like quelled and like publicly fucking reprimanded. Like fucking J. Edgar Hoover. So I mean, I've seen some of what's going on out there right now. It's not bad. The mayor has fucking what did he do? He's put a curfew in place. He's put a curfew in place from 9 o'clock on. And he's basically saying, get out, protest, do your thing, but after 9 o'clock, everybody's asleep except for people up to no good. Basically, bad people. If you're out there after 9 o'clock breaking the law, when the law is in place for this to protect the fucking citizens and the protesters, and so go home, yell, scream, do your thing during the day, and then go home. That's the rule. If you break it, then you're a criminal, and that's on you. And then if somebody comes and fucks you up and takes you to jail, that's on you. I'll tell you who none of this is on. Me, my neighbors, my neighborhood, the fucking guy down at the Kroger, the fucking guy down at KFC, the fucking lady at Taco Bell, the fucking liquor store owner down the street. They didn't break into anybody's house. They didn't shoot anybody in the fucking face 6 times or however many times she got shot, wherever she got shot at. They probably didn't even vote for Greg Fisher. Or this fucking kook job of a freaking governor that we have. Creepy Uncle Andy. Who talks to us like we're freaking kindergartners. So, I guess now we get to just sit back and wait and see what happens. Are people going to be complete idiots and go into a fucking leftist outrage and start tearing down their own fucking neighborhoods? They're not going to tear down my shit. They're not even going to come around here. My neighborhood doesn't have any time for that shit. Good luck. Good luck coming around my neighborhood and fucking and trying to tear some shit up. I don't think anybody would probably say shit if you came and you carried some signs around and hell, we had people not far down the street a while back waving signs. I honked at them, encouraging them. Good, the American dream in action. Around here where I'm at, we wave at the police.
That's because you live in a racist place.
No, I don't. You live in a fucking racist place. Y'all the ones killing motherfuckers and screaming about racism all the time. I don't see that shit around here. And we have black people. We have Arabs. We have Chinese people and Japanese people and Indians. We have Native Americans. And they all just get along just fine. I go to the freaking liquor store and there's I guess he's an Arab guy. I don't know if he's Arab or Indian. What's up, brother, my friend? What's up, brother? Hey, man, he knows everything that I get. We talk. He's a cool guy. I'm a cool guy with him. We have go to get our car washed at a car wash place, and there's black people there, and they all have Black Lives Matter shirts on. They smile. They're nice. We're nice to them. They don't threaten us. They're cool. They like us. We like them. They're not acting like a bunch of fucking idiots. That's a city boy thing. The stupidity on that level exists in the inner cities with all these fucking leftists with the septum piercings and everything else, and fucking their faces all tattooed up. I'm not saying that it's bad to have your face tattooed. You might look like an idiot, but that's on you. It's America. Look at me. I don't need to fucking tattoo my face to look ridiculous. I can do it all by myself. He'll be like, you're ignorant. You're ignorant. No, I'm fucking not. I went to a esteemed liberal arts university and studied psychology and pre-law. I studied political science was my fucking major. I went out and I've had jobs and I've worked and I've traveled around the entire fucking world, really, but like the fucking state, the fucking country. I've seen what's going on out there my whole life. But people want to lose their shit. I'm just glad that there are a few people out there like me that are just like, I get called racist and fucking white supremacist and everything else by these fucking like racist white supremacists so much that like, at this point, fine, call me what you want. So I'm going to talk openly about this shit. I'm not going to be afraid of you because you ain't going to do shit to me, motherfuckers. You ain't going to do shit. You know what I'm doing? I'm moving on up. I'm moving on up in life. I'm moving on up in business. I'm moving on up in wealth. And in my fucking education and how fucking I think for myself and come up with my own thoughts. What are you doing? Those of you that I'm specifically addressing, crazy leftist morons, your education never even began. Because you're too busy just being angry. I was angry too. I've gone through phases where I was fucking angry. I became a fucking leftist. I got fed up with shit. And you know what? My life got real shitty because I was doing really shitty, stupid things. And at the time, I actually thought that like people were out to get me. And that like the world wasn't fair to me. I actually believe this shit. I believe that the world wasn't fair to me and that like my life was so bad because like my daddy didn't love me and my mama died and you know, I didn't have anyone to help me. And I was just so alone and trying to get through and, you know, do all my drugs and drink all my liquor and like wondering where all my fucking money is and working a minimum wage fucking job even though I had every fucking credential to not like waste my life down the toilet in my 20s. You know, I blamed everybody. And then when I ran out of people to blame, I started blaming Jesus Christ and like fucking Christians and the Muslims and all the fucking religious people. And you know what that got me? A little bit dumber than I was the day before. And a little bit poorer and a little bit more miserable and a little bit more angry, more outraged. And guess what's happened to my good friends? They got a little richer, they got a little smarter. Eventually, they just didn't want to fucking be associated with me. Because who would? Nobody wants to be associated with people like that. I don't want to be associated with people like that. I'm purging those people out of my life as we speak. Because you are the company you surround yourself with. You are responsible for yourself. Black people, you people, all of you are responsible for you. And you can call me whatever you want. That will not change the circumstance in my life, and it will not change the circumstance in your life if you keep doing stupid shit or you keep fucking like shooting your neighbors all up and then blaming the fucking police and blaming the white man. I mean, fine. If that's what you believe, you're entitled to your opinion. Enjoy the fruits of your endeavors. Just don't try to come get mine because I'm just going to keep gathering fruit. And I'm not trying to share it with a bunch of people that just want to fucking call me a racist and hate me. I've got plenty of people I share with. And when I don't have somebody that needs help that I can help or do something for, I can write a check to the House of Ruth, the women's shelter. There's plenty of, I can send it to the fucking the homeless people, the homeless shelter. I can send it to, what are these other places I send my freaking money to? The little place down there on Vine Street where they basically help you with your utility bills and all that stuff, or winter help. Hell, I'll tack on $200 to my LG&E bill for the freaking people that need some help in the wintertime with their shit. Like, there's all sorts of ways you can do things if you're in that position Other than to give it to a bunch of angry fucking assholes that'll just fucking like want more and probably try to kill you. Fuck them. Who wants to help them? They don't represent black people. I represent black people more than they represent black people, and they're fucking black. Because the black people in my life now, they on the up and come. They ain't trying to be engaged in that shit. They do not want to fucking live on the West End. They move over here to my neighborhood. And then we move collectively even further away. This is like the second time, third time I've moved further out. And guess what I keep encountering? Black folks. Guess where they're not trying to go every day? The fucking West End. Why? Because if they go back there, their own people will be so hateful and jealous and envious of what they have that they will break into their fucking houses and steal it from them and maybe shoot them. Black on black murder. True fucking black on black, like fucking true Black Lives Matter shit. You can ask any of these motherfuckers around where I live. They don't mind talking to white people around here about their fucking shit. They don't mind engaging in civil conversation. These people that think that black people are what you see out there going crazy are missing out on like 99% of fucking black people that live outside of those places where nobody wants to be because it's a fucking killing field. And it's not the police killing them. It's the police protecting them. Thank you, cops. Thanks for actually protecting black lives in these places where black lives are being lost in mass numbers. Since they apparently can't thank you for saving their lives, I'll thank you for them, because that's what I pay my taxes for, is for you to go over there and save them from each other. Because over here, when we call the cops, it's probably because somebody's drunk or like they just beat their wife. Like, what do we call the cops around here for? The house is burning down. Like, why should you even need to call the cops all the time? Why should your community even be in that situation? Because of white people? The white man? Well, what about the Chinese? What have they done for you? Huh? What about the Arab people? Look at what they did. They've done to fucking people for 2,000 years in your part of the world where you originated from, in Africa and in the Middle East. Were they so friendly? Were they very helpful? And I get it. Slavery happened and all this shit. I have something that is going to have to be edited down. It's just too much of a fucking nightmare I've recorded hours at this point to cover this exact subject. Not the Breonna Taylor case, but racism. Because that's something that I really am going to talk about. And I don't care if you like it or not. And I don't care if you think that I'm an idiot or that my opinion is fucking stupid or that I'm a Nazi and a racist. I think you're a fucking Nazi and a racist. So what, you gonna go beat your head against the wall and like tear your fucking eye sockets out and like fucking urinate all over the fucking carpet because you're upset? I'm not. I don't give a fuck if you call me one or not. I don't really care. The fruits of my life and the people that I associate with, they're the ones that I care about. Their opinions on me matter because I actually interact and demonstrate, and so my actions are what determines their fucking opinions. Oh, but you're not being very thoughtful and empathetic. Are you kidding me? In this video, no, I'm not. You have any idea the shit people have said to me about me? You have any idea about the kind of things people have said about people that look like me? No, I'm sorry. I did care. I tried to get involved. I helped with people that were trying to get the message out about BLM way back in when this shit show started. I wanted to become engaged. But they don't even want that. They don't even want that because I'm the type of person that if I'm going to get involved in something, like I am a solutions-driven individual. What can we do to fix it? And that is not a conversation that these fucking fanatical, insane people are interested in. They just want to tear shit down and burn shit up. They want to be upset about their life and blame it on someone else while they get their Trump checks. They are misrepresenting both black people and white people to the entire the rest 99% of the fucking country by displaying how racist and segregated and filthy the inner city democratic areas are. You don't find that shit out here in the suburbs. We don't tolerate it. We self-police. All of us, black people, white people, all of us. We do our part for our community. We don't ask for something from them, from the government, from the neighbor. We might ask for a catch-up. We might ask if they got some salt. People get out and they freaking cut the grass. And they power wash their freaking driveways. And they trim the roses. And they go up to the front of the subdivision and they make it look nice. Everybody does their part. And nobody's shooting each other. And the black people around here, they're not blaming anybody for their problems. You know why? Because they don't have that many fucking problems. You know why? Because they did something with their life. You know why? Because systemic racism just, I guess, didn't apply to them. You know why? Because they're fucking Americans. They're fucking Americans. They are just like me.
No, they're not. They're not. You're white.
Well, you're a fucking racist then. You're a fucking segregated fucking prick. I don't give a shit what you think. Fuck you. Look at where you are. Fuck you. Look at what you say to me. Fuck you. And everybody taking up all these causes to fucking virtue signal because you think black people are like fucking scary and you have these opinions about them because like you've just been indoctrinated by the same racist ideologies that like have destroyed their community is destroying your fucking life, and y'all are turning against people like me that have literally nothing to even do with the situation at all. That do nothing but help to contribute to solutions for people's problems in life, provide services, provide charity, provide help. What kind of help do you provide? What kind of help do you fucking provide? You get out there and hold up a sign, and this is not against protests. I totally agree with protests. I don't believe in like pointless shit. I believe protests they shouldn't just be the voice to the national rage. They should be goals and objective based. They should be about a solution to the problem. They should have clear ideas of what they want done. Justice for Breonna is not a fucking idea. What does that even mean? There's $12 million, fucking no more no-knock warrants, fucking body cameras on all police, fucking police cannot stand by while anyone does something stupid, while a cop, manhandles somebody. Now the state is going to pick up legislation, probably eliminate no-knock warrants throughout the entire state of Kentucky, and it'll probably cascade around the rest of America. Is that good enough for you? No, we want to see a lynch mob just kill these cops. Well, you're not going to get that. You know why? It's America. You can't do that. We don't do that. You don't replace one tragedy with another. I don't care how mad you are or how fucking, privileged you feel like you are to just change all the rules of the world because you're upset. Because your life is exactly where you've put it. And your decisions have led you exactly to where you are. And you are not happy with all of that or any of that, and so you want to blame everyone else. Well, that's on you. That's on you. You're a fucking leech. You're the kind of people that fucking, when people are out there helping and helping charities, helping homeless shelters, helping clean up the streets, you out there trying to get your piece and keeping it from people that are trying to fix their lives, that are trying to clean their act up, so that you can go and fucking shoot up fucking heroin and then go kill your neighbor over a pair of fucking Reeboks. They were saying, I mean, they've been threatening ever since the beginning. We're going to go out into the suburbs. We're going to go out to where they are. Who was they? You talking about me? Oh, you don't want to come out where I am with that bullshit. And you know that because guess what? You haven't. After all your shit talk, where do you go? You go into fucking the West End and downtown. Why? Because they're fucking pussies out there and they don't fucking like have any fucking backbone and they just like roll over for like any fucking scary thing that they think is terrifying because they actually believe like black people are like fucking scary people. Like cross the street to fucking avoid them. They're terrified of them. You wouldn't believe the kind of things I've heard about from white people, from like liberal elitists in my fucking work community that have literally. They talk about the fucking West End, and you know exactly who they're talking about. They're talking about black people. They're scared to fucking death. I'm not. I'm not scared of a black person. I'm scared of stupid people with fucking guns that are like fucking out burning shit down. Because I have a family and I have fucking kids, and I will fucking kill you if you come to my house and try to hurt my family. Hands down. And if I go to prison for it, then I go to fucking prison for it. But you will not touch my family. You will not burn down my fucking house. There will be consequences and repercussions. And that goes to everyone around this area. Thousands and thousands of people that feel exactly the same way I do. And guess what? Some of them vote for Trump. And some of them vote for Biden. And some of them don't vote at all. And some of them are every different color under the rainbow. That's my rant for the day. That's my rant. I'm sorry for Breonna Taylor's, what happened there. I'm sorry for all the fucking death and murder and mayhem that goes on in this world, pointlessly, and that could easily be avoided. What can I do about it? I can focus on my life and raising my children to not feel that way about their world. I can raise them not to think about the color of their friend's skin, and I can teach them not to think about the world as a terrible place. I will train them not to think that America is bad and America is racist. I will not train them to think that fucking the cards are stacked against them because they're half black. My kids are all fucking intermixed. I'm married into a fucking. My brother-in-law's. You wouldn't know he wasn't just black, that he had Hispanic in him. And where I'm from, lots of black people. And most of them that I knew, they were doing just fine. They were not fighting with white people. White people were not beating them up. They were driving their car to the store. They were going to the fucking chicken shack. They were going to the fucking swimming pool. They were going to their jobs. Everybody was just doing what people do. Nobody was getting fucking murdered everywhere just because, like, you know, oh, there's a white person. Racist. Racist. You don't even fucking know what that means. This world is so privileged at this point. This country's so privileged that they don't even fucking know what racism is. So go ahead. Say what you're going to say about me. I ain't going to listen. I ain't going to hear it. Because I go based on what works for my life and the lives of those around me. And that shit ain't working in your life. So I'm not going to embrace it and get involved in it. You can have it. Hell broke loose. Hey everyone, it's the Colonel here. Hellbrokeloose.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video on the YouTube. Hit that notification bell. Hit that subscribe button. Hit all the buttons. And if you don't like me, subscribe too so that you can hear the next crazy inflammatory thing I'm going to say that pisses you off and makes you shit in your breakfast.